Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Prabhu, you know that Acharya Guru, no? He's from IIT Kharagpur. He's also one very senior man from country Pune Voices. He's also here. Hey, his name is Madhav Chandrapur. His name is Madhav Chandrapur from CIT. He worked in Microsoft many years. He is the one who brought Charles Raman, our Gauranpur. He is a preacher. Now he settled here. Both of them meet sometimes. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Shodanandana Braja Janaranjana Shodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Girivaradhari Shodanandana Raja Janaranjana यशोदानन्दन व्रज जनरञ्जन यमुना तीरावनचारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद जय श्री सबुनित्यानंद श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा श्रील प्रभुपदा गुरुदेव श्रील गुरुदेव ओम इष्टपाद परमहंस प्रजाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की ऑल ग्लोरीज टू assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuhu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. We are reciting from 3rd canto, 24th chapter, text number 12. Brahmavacha Tvaya me pachitistata Kalpita nirvyalikataha Yanme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Brahmavacha Tvaya me pachitistata Kalpita nirvyalikataha Yanme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Brahmovacha Tvaya me pachitistata Kalpita nirvyalikataha Yanme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Brahmavacha Tvaya me pachitistata Kalpita nirvyalikataha Yanme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Brahmavacha Tvaya me pachitistata Nirjalikataha Janme sanjagrihe vakyam Manadamayam Brahma vacha Kayame apachitestata Arpita nirjalikataha Janme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Mataji Brahma vacha Ayame apachitestata Pita nirjali kataha Yanme sanjagrihe vakyam Bhavan manadamanayan Brahma Lord Brahma Uvacha said Vaya by you me my apachiti worship Tata O son Kalpitaha accomplished Nirjali kataha without duplicity Yat since me my Sanjagrihe have completely accepted Vakyam instructions Bhavan you Manada Kardama O Kardama one who offers honor to others Manayan respecting a very special verse as you see here there are 5 qualities mentioned here Apachiti, Kalpita, Nirjali, Kataha, Sanjagrihe, Manada. These are the 5 qualities of an ideal subordinate or ideal disciple who receives instruction from a guru and faithfully fulfills the instruction. So we'll discuss about this today. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. Lord Brahma said, My dear son Kardama, since you have completely accepted my instructions without duplicity, showing them proper respect, you have worshipped me properly. Whatever instructions you took from me, you have carried out, and thereby you have honored me. Purport. Lord Brahma, as the first living entity within the universe, is supposed to be the spiritual master of everyone, and he is also the father, the creator of all beings. Kardama Muni is one of the Prajapatis or creators of the living entities, and he is also a son of Brahma. Brahma praises Kardama because he carried out the orders of the spiritual master in toto and without cheating. A conditioned soul in the material world has the disqualification of cheating. He has 4 disqualifications. He is sure to commit mistakes, he is sure to be illusion, he is prone to cheat others, and his senses are imperfect. But if one carries out the order of the spiritual master by disciplic succession or the parampara system, he overcomes the 4 defects. Therefore, knowledge received from the bona fide spiritual master is not cheating. Any other knowledge which is manufactured by the conditioned soul is cheating only. Brahma knew well that Kardama Muni exactly carried out the instructions received from him and that he actually honored his spiritual master. To honor the spiritual master means to carry out his instructions word for word. So this is another powerful one-liner of Prabhupada. Please repeat. To honor the spiritual master means to carry out his instructions word for word. So this is a very famous. I'm very happy to be here in ICC, South Bangalore, after a long time of COVID, when all of you are having online programs. Now temple hall appears to be full now, all the devotees. So we had one meeting of all the leaders in Hyderabad discussing about what are the advantages of offline over online. Many of them suggested many things, more than 20 points came. So one of the points was, you cannot have prasadam online. You cannot have charanamrita online. You cannot have tulasi from the Lord's lotus feet online. And you cannot, you cannot meet the devotees, embrace the devotees, dance with devotees online. Online always there's a lag in dancing, in kirtan. So in offline, coming together again, for devotees association is very important thing. So we were thinking at one time that this COVID probably is sent by Kali so that devotees can be separated. But even COVID has turned out to be a blessing in disguise for the devotees, because devotees are never separated. They were all strongly connected, and even more strongly connected by online and having programs, attending, and even 80-year-old ladies know how to operate Zoom now. They have learned how to connect to the lectures, and people heard. A lot of Shravanam people did. A lot of Prabhujis, Matajis cultivated many new people. I heard that ISKCON's preaching has multiplied more than 100 times than before online. Most amazing thing is even a neophyte devotee in ISKCON got 100 followers now on Zoom. Then they're saying, I'm giving lecture here, lecture there, everywhere online. So that is a blessing. Devotees didn't waste their time. They utilized their time very well. Just like Pandavas, when they were in the forest, they didn't waste their time. Do you think they were just sleeping in the forest? No. Yudhishthira Maharaj met all the saintly Brahmanas and took advice from the scriptures, how a king should lead the praja, how a king should be dharmic. He learned from Brahmanas hours and hours. And Bhima, he met Hanuman and got a blessing from Hanuman that Hanuman will join the war by staying in the flag, Kapidvaja, and giving out war cries. So, and also they made allies with many people, like he married Hidimbi. Similarly, Arjuna married Ulupi. And then Iravan was born. Gadodgaja was born. You will see that. If you see, Pandavas had more than 15 allies or so they made when they were in the forest period. And Arjuna went to heavenly planets and got celestial weapons from Indra. He met Lord Shiva and got the Pashupatastra also. So you will find they were not wasting a moment, even in the forest duration of the stay. So one lesson we can learn from Pandavas is that whether whatever be the world situation, the devotee should intelligently find out ways and means to keep oneself Krishna conscious and extend one's hands and legs and spread out Krishna consciousness as much as one can in every situation. And the devotees have been doing that successfully. On the other hand, Duryodhana did a foolish thing because he was ruling at that time for 12 years. He sent out Karna to wage a war against many kings in India and loot their wealth and bring. So because of that, he increased enmity with many kings instead of befriending them. Therefore, at the time of war, you will find Pandavas had 15 allies and a huge support in that sense. And Kauravas had very little support that way. Anyway, the verse we are reciting today is a very important verse. As I showed you here, 5 qualities. Please repeat. Apachitihi, worship. Kalpita, accomplished. Nirvyalikataha, without duplicity or without cheating. Sanjagrihe, having completely accepted. And Manayan, or we can say Manada, one who offers honor to others. The meaning of each of these words we will briefly discuss. Apachiti means worship. When we receive an instruction from a superior, one should worship it. Now, what is the meaning of worshipping? See, when you do pradakshina in a temple, you keep the Lord to your right side and you go around. Correct, no? 3 times or 4 times you go around and offer obeisance, which is well known to Indians in the Vedic culture. Correct, no? So when you are going around the Lord, what do we declare to the world? For me, Lord is my life and soul. And everything for me in life revolves around the Lord. And I am myself revolving around the Lord. And nothing is of more importance to me than Him. That's what we are declaring. Therefore, we say in this world, everybody is orbiting around something. Somebody is orbiting around money making, making dollar notes. Somebody is orbiting around, foreign chants. Somebody is orbiting around a woman or a man. Somebody is orbiting around. Somebody is orbiting around getting a political seat somehow. He is ready to wag the tail and lick the boots, if need be, to get some political post. And for that, he is ready to work hard and canvassing and so many things people do. Everybody in this world is orbiting around something to attain something. You can see that. So, disciple, what is he orbiting around? He's orbiting around Guru's instructions. Therefore, we say in Prabhupada's life, lifetime in preparation. So 40, 45 years, Prabhupada was preparing Bhakti Godhead magazines and writing the books, and also making an effort to preach in India, in Jhansi, and to many, many educators, businessmen, politicians. Many people Prabhupada met personally one-on-one, try to get some support by which he can reach the Guru's instruction far and wide. So a disciple should struggle, make an effort, keeping the mind. You will find the Prachetas, there is one verse in which Prachetas say, I'll just show you that verse. Let's repeat this verse. Yaduktam pati drishtena girishena prasidata tadhyayanto japantascha pujayantascha samyataha. See, there are 3 words used. The Prachetas met Lord Shiva during their forest stay. When Prachetas were going in the forest, they saw a lake. In that lake, Lord Shiva was coming, rising outside the lake and coming up to the surface. So when they saw Lord Shiva, immediately they offered obeisances. And Shiva voluntarily came forward and said that I have especially come to give you instructions on how to get the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shiva said, as far as my followers are concerned, demigods, they chase after me. But as far as I am concerned, I chase after pure devotees. Because I am very fond of associating with Krishna's pure devotees. So you all are pure souls. You are coming to the forest to see the Lord. So I will teach you Rudra Geetam, by chanting which you will attain darshan of Lord Krishna. Shri Shri Jagannath Subramanian ki. So when they received those instructions from Shiva, how to worship Lord Vishnu, what they did, 3 words are used here. Dhyayanto, japantascha, pujayantascha. 3 words are used. Dhyayanta means what? To meditate upon. Japantaha means to keep speaking to one another about it, which we call as Ishta Goshti, we call it. And Pujyanta means keep it in the highest pedestal in our heart and worship it. Like that. So what is the meaning of Dhyayanta, meditating on it? Meditating on it means, Prabhupada also says, a disciple should take the instruction of Guru and meditate on how to materialize it or how to give shape to it. So, but all details will not be given to us. Like Prabhupada's Guru told him, if you ever get money, print books. One instruction he gave. Did his Guru tell him what books to print? What should be the cover page? What should be the title of the book? What should be the content of the book? And, did he say, from where to take His Guru just told him, if you ever get many print books. That means in Guru's instruction is like a large umbrella. And under that umbrella, you can have multiple small umbrellas within that umbrella, which means sometimes people think that why are we so much emphasizing on following? Don't we have any room for innovation or creativity? There is room for innovation within the instruction. There's abundant room for creativity, innovation. So we should not go outside the instruction and do anything deviated. Like for example, there are 5 types of subordinates, very tough to deal with. It is said, whether it is in material life or spiritual life, these 5 types of subordinates are people who are highly talented. They have tremendous potential to do great things, but they have one particular nature due to which they can sometimes become a thorn in a team. For example, one is called maverick, we call it. Maverick means what? A person who always changes and changes and changes and changes things which are already planned and keeps on proposing new things, that nothing moves forward, because this is a person who changes things without clarifying goals. See, for example, you have made a timeline, the 2 weeks timeline you have made for doing something. Within 2 weeks, you'll come up with 20 ideas without keeping track of the goal. At the end of 2 weeks, you ask, what have we done? I have come up with 20 ideas. 20 different directions we can take. But the end result will not be accomplished. At least one should think that, let me achieve some minimum goal and then I can make changes. Some people don't even do the minimum also. Keep on changing. This is the first category of subordinate who has a habit of changing. So what do we do with such a person? You should tell a person that don't disturb the morale in the team. Don't spoil, the whole the whole team is geared towards one thing, it's working. Don't throw new ideas every now and then and keep on changing direction, north, east, west, south, different directions. You should go in one direction and achieve some tangible, substantial goal. So for that, what do? You tell him that, you cannot do these things alone, nor can you shake the team. If you are a part of the team, you at least agree to do something basic, and then in your free time, you come up with new ideas. So then there is a second type of subordinate who is very critical. Always he will show red signal. Stop, he will say. And he will say, this will not work. And he is not a bad person, because that is how his eyes are. His eyes always detect the problems first. As soon as you propose an idea, he will say, this, he will immediately shoot it down immediately. It will not work. So what he has to be told, that subordinate has to be told that, see, don't try to remove the plans, reform the plans. Don't try to be so critical that you, submerge the team in negativity. Rather, you try to improve the existing plan rather than shooting all the plans down. Or if you want to shoot down everything, you come up with a new plan, isn't it? He will not give new plan. He only knows to shoot down. This is the second type of subordinate, you see. There is another third type of subordinate, another type of person who, this person wants the whole universe to revolve around him only. Everyone and everything. He will say, your idea will not work, this will not work. What will work? Whatever I say will work. Everything should revolve around, just like the 9 planets are revolving around the sun. Like that, everyone and everything should revolve around him. And if he goes in any department, he will be wanting to be the apple of the eye of everybody. And he's a very intelligent person also. So he will disturb everybody else's morale, he will disturb. So what is to be done with such a person? Give him something very solid to do, along with the people who are also ready to work with him, and tell him, you go there and do this work, and other people can be taken for the rest of the work. You and your people. At least no problem in you wanting them to revolve around you, but do something. This is the third category of person. The fourth category of person, you will always have ideas in the clouds, dreaming person. Very good ideas. But you will see that you will never put it down tangibly in the form of action plan, and he will never execute it, and he will never materialize it. So you have to tell him, See, you have the cloud, now you have to make the cloud pour down and make some production, vegetation, something should happen. Huh? Don't keep your ideas in the cloud. So this is another type of very creative person. Huh? Keeps the things in the cloud. Huh? Cloud-like ideas. Huh? And the fifth subordinate is very difficult to deal with. Unleadable person. Who is this person? If you say north, he will say south. If you say plus, he will say minus. he absolutely has nothing to give and take with the team going together. He will have his own ideas, and he will always you will actually act against the interest of the team. That's the last one. Unleadable person. Very difficult. So what do? You give him a tall mountain to climb and don't tell him how to climb there. And leave him. At least you have to keep him in bay so the team can go ahead. So these are different types of very intelligent subordinates. But despite their intelligence doesn't come to execute the mission. You will see that. Of course, Prabhupada had all types of subordinates and he dealt with them. What I am telling you is not new. In Prabhupada's case, I don't want to quote the particular name of devotees because it will not be proper. But Prabhupada had, there was one devotee in Vrindavan, he wanted to put a big clock. He said in many churches they put the clock. It rings, you've seen, no? Prabhupada initially said, no, there is no need, Prabhupada said, initially. Prabhupada tried to dissuade him, but he went a dozen times to Prabhupada. And Prabhupada said, see, I will allow you to put a clock, but every 1 hour you have to go and ring. 10 o'clock, 10 times you have to ring. 11 o'clock, 11 times. So then that fellow went back and said, okay, that is not possible for me. But after some time again he came to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, I will arrange one watchman who will do that. Prabhupada found it very difficult to say no to him. But finally Prabhupada allowed him. Even today it's there, you seen that? That's the bell. And one day Prabhupada noticed the watchman slept. He didn't ring the bell. Prabhupada caught this devotee. If he doesn't do, you have to do it. So sometimes devotees demanded, like Prabhupada told one carpenter devotee, he told him that you should only spend X amount of money. But he spent some triple amount. Because he said, I cannot do anything short of perfection. I am a perfectionist. Either I do a perfect job or I do no job. Prabhupada said, but I told you within this amount you have to fit in. Oh, that won't fit. Retreat. And so what do you think? Prabhupada was very upset. But he didn't express his anger. He tolerated. Because at least he has done something. He has gone beyond the amount allotted for the work. So in Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada says, the pure devotee of the Lord is like a cow. He says, why? A cow is a very soft-natured animal and she eats the grass and fodder and just sits in one place peacefully. It doesn't harm anyone. When the time of milking comes, she stands up and then the cowman, when he milks the cow. And cow is so submissive to the man. Even if a man takes a knife to cut her, the cow will not even think he is going to harm me. Cow is so innocent. Cow will think he is playing with me. It's an innocent animal. Prabhupada says like this in the Bhagavad Gita, one of the purports. And there Prabhupada writes, in the same manner, a pure devotee of the Lord is sold out to the Lord completely, to Guru and Gauranga. He has no personal agenda in life. He simply wants to live for their pleasure. And is fully obedient and aligned, and he will fulfill the desires of Guru and Krishna. So, on the other hand, Prabhupada also quotes another example. A pure devotee of the Lord is like a well-oiled machine, he says. That also in Bhagavad Gita purport, one of the purports Prabhupada says, like a well-oiled machine. And then he says, there are some machines which are not proper in functioning, you will see. For example, here is a fan rotating. You have a regulator, we call it. Some fans, even if you put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, speed will be same. You have seen that? I mean, some devotees, they have a very high speed. They work a lot. They don't study Prabhupada books. They'll keep on preaching. You will see that. And also some devotees will work very hard. They will do a lot of seva, but they will not do sadhana properly. And they go at their own speed. But if a senior calls and tells them, this is not proper, but they are unregulatable. Therefore, the regulator is not working. You keep 5, you take 1, 2, makes no difference. They have their own speed. Then there are others. If you little bit want them, like one time there was one, what do you call it? This atta powder making machine, you know that? They make this wheat powder. They make, chucky kind of thing, yeah. So one fellow had kept chucky continuously going on. Going on all day. His friend came and asked him, why don't you switch it off now? There is no work going on. After some work comes, you can restart it. He said, no. Once you switch it off, then it will never start. This machine is very difficult to start it. Therefore, I never stop it. I keep it on. So some devotees are like that. They will work very hard. If you little bit give a feedback, they will stop. And they'll quit the team. They will say, now you cannot get any work done from me. And they will abscond for 6 months. You won't find them. Then you have to fall at their feet and with betel nuts and that betel leaves, you have to welcome them. Please come back. A lot of pampering has to be done to bring them back. Either they will do a lot or they will do nothing. Very surprising. Sometimes you find a devotee, very emotionally driven devotee, becomes very angry. And if you correct him, he will cry also. And if you don't correct him, he will trouble others. Correct, no? So these are all examples of improper subordinates. Correct, no? And then there are other people, like what? Like this tube light is on. If you press the switch, it is on. If you take the finger away, it will be off. What is that? That means a person who needs continuous follow-up. If you say once, you will not do it. You have to keep on following up. As long as your finger is in the switch, it will be on. That means if somebody is supervising, watching, asking, have you done? Have you done? Have you done? Have you done? Finally, he will do it. Even if he promises, I will do it in 1 week, he will do it in 3 months. But after too much of follow-up. These are all different types of subordinates who don't take the instructions very seriously. Correct now? How many subordinates you told now? Varieties I've told you, correct now? Multiple varieties. Yeah. So those 5 people I told you, they are actually very smart leaders actually. But somebody has to be able to bring out from them. Prabhupada had such amazing subordinates. Even there were critical thinkers. Prabhupada made them bring out the best ideas. Actually, when Prabhupada wanted a critical idea, critical thinking means Prabhupada had an idea, everybody nodded their head, but Prabhupada will not agree. He will call that devotee who will give his critical comment about why it will not work. And Prabhupada will actually have a debate with him. Okay, you say why it will not work, I will tell you why it will work. And then afterwards, you will take some ideas from him also. That Prabhupada is very smart in that. Prabhupada knew which disciple to call for what. He would call the exact disciple who can, like if Prabhupada wanted some idea, he will call some devotees. Prabhupada wanted some action, he will call another devotee. Some people are action oriented, some are idea oriented. Like that. So Prabhupada did his best by combining the talents and resources and the efforts of the devotees. Although in his times, Prabhupada actually took a lot of energy to train them and polish them and bring them to the point of, becoming completely loyal to him and expanding this movement. Therefore, here it says here, that dhyayanto, one should actually meditate on instruction. Prabhupada is always meditating. That's a lifetime in preparation. Actually, if you meditate on doing something, that will eventually happen. Yeah. Long before, I remember when I came to Bangalore, this place Narayana Chaitanya Prabhu took me to one place where he said, here is going to be like a supermarket of temples, one place. And he showed me one long hall. Very, very simple patara was there. There was some black colored deity of Narasimha was there. And the deity was just kept in one corner, nothing installed and all. So at that time he told some allotment is happening for different temples. No temple was built at that time there. He said, here also there's going to be one temple, and at that time ISKCON also will get one piece of land. At that time Prabhuji was contemplating in the mind that I want to do something in Bangalore, in future, so that Prabhupada mission should be expanded. So he was already meditating on it. So later on, eventually the temple came up and it became SNGM temple, Sri Narasimha Mandir now, where Krishna Prabhu was running the temple there. In the meantime, Prabhu came to this place. And in those days, he was practically alone. He was single, only one person. This hall was there. Jagannath Balasubhadra was there. And then he was trying to get help from some devotees in this locality to come and serve the deities. Of course, he took me to his room and he told me his ideas. And he was asking about how we can do some youth outreach and working boys outreach here. And he would also take me to some of the youth programs in Keshadipuram temple when he was there also in those days. Here is a person who is always thinking, meditating on how to expand Prabhupada movement. Somebody is meditating, something wonderful will come up. Actually, you meditate only on things which are very dear to your heart. Otherwise, you cannot meditate. You will see that if you are having a dream job, then you meditate on the dream job. Somebody's dream profession, dream job, dream house, dream girl, dream future this, dream future that. So many things everybody is dreaming, correct? No? So you only dream about things which you are fond of. Otherwise, you will not dream. So Prabhupada mission, if you have a desire to expand it, then you can dream about it. So because he was dreaming, eventually this place came and he built a facility for preaching, he made seminar halls. Through team of managers, he started developing. Now new temple is coming up now. So therefore, it said Yatad Dhyayanto means when you meditate, and Japantascha means speaking. Like what is the meaning of Ishta Goshti? Ishta means very dear. Goshti means when a group of devotees come together and discuss what is Guru Maharaj's vision, what he wants. I have seen many of the leaders here in Bangalore. I've seen they always say, Guru Maharaj said there should be a dozen temples here in Bangalore. Here it is here, more than a dozen temples. So therefore you find, because they are meditating on that instruction will eventually become, materialized, realized. You will see that. So Japan Dasya means we should talk about it. Prabhupada said this, we should distribute books. And therefore in our Pune temple also, what we did during marathon, many years ago we started it. Prabhupada's pictures we would put along with some Prabhupada's letter quote and put it on all the, pillars, notice boards, ashram, everywhere. So in companies, they put slogans, if you see. The company has certain values and principles which they want to promote. And they want to motivate the people. They put all those slogans. So for us, what is a motivator for us? Prabhupada's instruction. So when you put Prabhupada's photo and along with his instructions, and devotees keep watching it. Oh, Prabhupada says at least even if you distribute one book, you will make so much progress. Somebody sees that, then they go and ask, can I take some books? Just see that. So therefore, devotees should be conducting meetings and talking about it and planning about it. First you talk, then you plan, then you actually do. When His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu came to Pune, he was telling, pick up the books and hit the street, he said. And then devotees asked, and then come back, he said. Then devotees asked him, if you go and hit the street and come back, but then how will books go? He said, that you don't bother, he said. You give up your lethargy, get up and go and hit the street. Because if you go and stand in the street, people will buy books. In fact, I have personal experiences while traveling in train. Many times I don't have a book to give. At least 3-4 people ask me, do you have a book? Because you people are very famous for distributing books. I feel very sorry sometimes. Whatever books I am carrying with me, I give them to read. I'll tell them, read and give it back. Like that. That means people are, how important it is for us that people are asking us for the books. Before they ask, we should show. So, in that way, any service, we take it seriously. We will not only meditate about it, we will also talk about it. And pujiyantascha means we should worship it in our heart. Like, you worship the deity. You can see how we celebrate the deities. You can see every day the deities are getting so many bhoga offerings. Every day the dresses are changed and ornaments are put. The Lord is decorated. Aratis are done. So you can see how we, every day is like a celebration in ISKCON. Like one gentleman, came with a group of 24 youths to Pune temple. I was sitting in the garden. I was doing my youth camp that time. So when I saw this man coming with 24 youths, immediately I sent to one brahmachari and said, find out who is this fellow. He has so many youths with him. So find out. Maybe we can connect them to some course, device course, something. So then they brought that gentleman to me, and he said he belongs to another organization called the Holy Mission. He said, and he said, we also have Radha Krishna and Sitaram, deities. We also worship. They were like personless. They also sing songs and everything. So then he told me, in your Radha Kunjibari temple, the deities are so beautiful. How many times in a year you all change the dress? He asked like that. I said, what are you talking? We change dress 2 times a day. Once in the morning they wear one dress, and night before sleeping they wear another dress. And we offer 6 offerings a day, I said. He practically fainted unconscious. He said, really? Then he, immediately his face became small. He said, oh, I wish our deities also are taken care so well. Then he said, now I can understand why your deities are so beautiful. They are pampered so much by the devotees. So much bhogas is offered to them, and they are dressed. In Pune also, when the Balaji came in Pune, the Balaji appeared very stern when he came originally to Pune. When he was in the home of one Banerjee who gave us the Balaji deity, he told us, if you take care of this Balaji, I will gift my house to ISKCON. So after gifting the house, after 3-4 years, he passed away. We sold the house in 1.5 crore. With that, we purchased the land for the NVCC temple. So after Balaji started, worship started, now Balaji is smiling now. All devotees are wondering, how did the sudden smile came? Where did it come from? When Lord is receiving nice worship, Lord becomes very joyful. So then that gentleman called me and all some of the devotees from and we went to his place to see, and our devotees trained them how to dress the deity and all. And we had some programs for them. And that gentleman went on to become an initiated devotee in ISKCON. His name is Ramchandra Prabhu now. He's a big preacher. He went to Atlanta. He has been doing good preaching. Now he's back in Pune now. But why I'm saying this, there are many people who may not be aware that how much in ISKCON the deity worship Prabhupada made such a beautiful and purest standards. Even in Bombay, Juhu temple also, Swaminarayan group of pujaris came and stayed for more than 10 days to learn how to take care of the deity, Pancharatriki worship. So why I am quoting this example of deity worship, as much as we pamper the deities with so much of attention, care, arati, dress and ornaments, like that we should do the same with instructions of Guru. That's the meaning of worshipping the instruction of Guru. So everybody knows your spiritual master, has certain expectations which he will not just say once in a while. He will keep on saying. You'll see that. Like my spiritual master always says, Rinadapi Shuni Chena, Tharorapi Sakishna, Amanina, Manadena, Kirtani Siddha. For him, whatever you may do, that is secondary for him. But he will say that you should do it with kindness and compassion. You cannot afford. If you are arrogant and you did a big thing, he will say, keep it with you, I don't want. If you are humble and you did a small thing, he will say, wonderful, come here. I'm very happy with it. Like one devotee went to Vrindavan to learn Giriraj sweets, how they make Son Papdi. He went to the kitchen and met the chief cook who makes that Son Papdi. He went and asked him, sir, I want to know what is the recipe for this, how do you make it? That fellow said, no, I cannot tell this. Nobody in the world knows this. He said, if I tell you, then you guys will copy it. And we have a unique USP, our speciality is, our Son Papdi is special. So that brahmachari, he became servant of that cook. 3 months he remained there. Practically he served him like a disciple serving Guru, like that. After 3 months he revealed the recipe. Then he came and made exactly same type of Son Papdi. Can you imagine? So you will see that, by because the devotee spiritual master wanted him to learn the recipe. So therefore, his Guru appreciated him in one lecture. That just see how humble he was that he could learn the recipe and he could reproduce it. make it very nice. He appreciates very much about this meticulous way of serving. Paying attention to details is a sign of love. Similarly, there are other spiritual masters who emphasize a lot on book distribution. Then there are other spiritual masters who emphasize on preaching and expanding. His Holiness Jayapataka Samaraj is very fond of Bhakti Vriksha preaching and expanding preaching and reaching far and wide, not leaving a single house. He himself will go to 1,000 houses in Gulf. Devotees. In one day only, he is ready to go to several houses without minding his health and everything, even in those days. So, that is one of it. Every guru has certain desires and expectations, which are actually desire of Krishna and Lord Gauranga manifesting through them. They are actually like people who receive it and transmit it, the disciples. So we have to understand, sometimes they may spell it out, sometimes they may speak it in the lecture, sometimes they may give. So there are general instructions and there are specific instructions. General instructions are given in the lectures, specific instructions are given to the individual. So sometimes sometimes the wife tells the husband, Guruji has come, please go on, mate, go on. And the husband is afraid. Why? Because he knows I am not chanting at all. Guru will ask, are you chanting? He tells the wife, no, you go in the front. Then he puts the children behind and he's hiding behind. But sometimes Guru will tell, call your husband here. I want you to chant 8 rounds from today. And then the husband later on told the wife, now he has told me 8 rounds, he has given mala also, I have to do it now. And that's how they became then eventually 16 rounds and got initiated also. Because this is called special mercy. Somebody calls you and gives you instruction. So, and therefore, once instruction comes, one cannot take it lightly. If some instruction is given, one should execute it. Actually, one should worship it practically. Dhyayanta, chapantascha, pujayantascha, samyata. When all the sons of Prachinapari left home to execute austerities, they met Lord Shiva, who out of great mercy instructed them about the absolute truth. All the sons of Prachinapari meditated upon those instructions, chanting those instructions, worshipping them with great care and attention. Just see. So this is sincerity. Now coming back to here, you can see this one. Vayame apachitistata. Worship. I have explained that worship elaborately now. Second word is kalpita. Kalpita means accomplished. If an instruction is given to us, we should accomplish it. There is a category of one type of manager called a storytelling manager. Storytelling manager will give you 100 stories why he couldn't do the work. But true manager is one. He will also tell you stories, but then it's at last I made it. So there are 2 types of people. You've seen 2 types of people. One person will tell you stories why he couldn't do it. Another person will say how I did it. For example, Hanuman was told, go and get the Sanjeevani, Jadibuti, that medicine, herb. So he went to Himalayan range and he searched by Rakshasa's arrangement. That particular medicinal herb was hiding. It was not showing. He went all around the mountain. He couldn't find it. So what do you think Hanuman did? Do you think he came back and told, I'm sorry, I couldn't find it? And Lakshman is already unconscious. What he did? He dug the whole mountain and carried it. And went at the right time, exactly. And then the Vaidya could find it. Then he applied the medicine. Lakshman got up. Then Hanuman thought that you should never take anything from anybody unless you've taken permission. So Hanuman again took the mountain back and put it back in the same place from where he took it. Because the job is done now. Sanjeevani Jadibuti is taken. So here is an example of somebody who is very smart. Because on the way when Hanuman was going to Himalayas, Rakshasas had arranged some ways to distract Hanuman. So there was one sage who called him, Hanuman, come down. I want to give you some fruits. Hanuman was in no mood. But sage insisted, so he came down and told the sage, please give me the fruits while flying only, I'll keep on eating and flying. Sage said, no, you should properly sit down and eat. Okay, he said, I'm sitting down and please give me quickly, he said. Sage said, first you should take bath and come. Then I will give you, he said. Hanuman thought, okay, let me take bath. So he went to take a bath. And there was a crocodile who captured his leg. And Hanuman tore open the mouth of the crocodile and that turned out to be a big Rakshasa. And Hanuman understood, oh, dangerous. Then after killing the Rakshasa, he came back to the hermitage And there, this Brahmana who was the so-called Brahman, he also turned to another Rakshasa. Both of them were dangerous fellows. Now Hanuman understood, this fellow tricked me to come down. Actually, he wanted to waste my time and delay so that Lakshman will not get up. Again, Hanuman flew up. So in our spiritual lives also, there are so many distractors and time wasters and dangerous elements. Sometimes a time waster may be not non-dangerous element. Sometimes it can be dangerous also. Some distractors can be potentially very dangerous. Like we are sitting in computer to do some good work, and then some pop-up comes, you click that and you go, and then you get distracted. Some pop-ups are harmless, time-wasting pop-ups, and some pop-ups are harmful pop-ups also, which will pollute our consciousness. The devotee should be fixed on the goal and not get distracted. That we can learn from Hanuman. You can see that. If I have a target, I have to finish it first instead of getting distracted by multiple things. So, therefore, Hanuman is a job accomplishing servant. He was told to find out Sita. Did he find Sita or not? He found out Sita. He was told to bring Sanjeevani Jadibuti. Did he bring or not? Prabhupada's guru told Prabhupada that you should go to the West and preach and make devotees. Did Prabhupada make or not? See, these are all accomplishing servants. So we also have to, Kalpita means, we have to accomplish the goal, not just tell stories, Therefore, it is that a dancer does not blame the stage. A lady who is cooking in the kitchen does not blame the utensils. It is said. Similarly, a preacher should not blame the audience. Some people say, audience is useless audience, dull audience. They never regularly come for the class. Don't blame them. If you're a good preacher, Prabhupada didn't blame the hippies. All hippie audience. He didn't say like that. He made hippies into happies. We have to accomplish the goal. And the third one is nirvyali kataha, without duplicity, which means one should not cheat while accomplishing the goal. What is the meaning of that? Like somebody is going for preaching, like one devotee was going for preaching abroad in one of the university preaching he was doing. So temple asked him, how many students are coming? How many cookies you want? See, the temple used to make this butter cookies, which is like if you put in the mouth, it will melt like butter. It's kaju, all will be fried and put in that very big, like a spherical type of thing. Very nice, big cookies. So generally, he said about 30-35 boys may come for the program. He actually knew that only 20 will come. He said 35 boys may come, like that is. Okay, they gave him 30 cookies. They gave. So he put it in the car and he was driving the car. And he was thinking in the mind, anyway, this youth program, boys don't turn up many times. I don't think, 30 boys are going to come. And while driving, he went on eating. After every 5 minutes, one cookie. Putting in the mouth and driving. Like that, he was eating, putting like this. Suddenly, when he reached the room, he found only 12 cookies were there. Balance got over. And the boys were 30 boys. Why? Because the college suddenly called off for the day. There was no classes. So all the boys thought, we want some change. So they all landed up. Now with 12 cookies, you have to feed how many boys? 30 boys. You cut it into half and gave them. Little like. So saying that I want something for Krishna's service and using it for one's own sense gratification is called duplicity. That's a definition of duplicity. Saying that I want for Krishna's seva. Like for example, Janmashtami time, we give receipt books. Like we give 250, 300 receipt books in Pune to many people. People take it. But when you collect the receipt books back, only 200 comes. What about the 50? People don't submit on their own. Then you have to make phone calls. And what happened to receipt book? They're saying we are bringing. Sometimes 2, 3, 4 months it takes. Later on in one lecture, I was telling that, see, the money you collect for Krishna is called Brahmaspad. It is divine. It is Amritamaya paisa. It's Lakshmi. It is. 1 paisa, you use it for your own purpose. Generations will suffer. Many people got frightened after hearing that. Immediately next day, all the receipt books came back. I said, my goal was not to frighten you. The point is, Krishna's money should not be. I told them, please go through the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, Nriga pastime, the last part. I said, there is more dangerous things than what I told you. If you read it, crores of lifetimes, one will become a worm in the stool and things like that are there. Brahmana's money and Krishna's money should not be misused. One should not duplicate this. So it's very dangerous. So then one devotee was telling me, oh, the problem is money gets mixed up, Prabhu, because sometimes this pocket to this pocket, this pocket, this pocket, money gets mixed. We collect money and we put it in this pocket. I said, you should never do that. Therefore, you should keep a separate place for Krishna's money when you're collecting with the receipt books and all, correct? So, therefore, we should make sure that, see, devotees are not cheaters. Sometimes they take money for one purpose and they use it for another purpose, which is also not a very proper thing to do, because the donors become angry. Like one donor had given money for dress of the deity, and this devotee used it for another department. The donor came on the festival day thinking his name will be announced, and then some other name was announced. And the donor got shocked. He went and caught the devotee. Hey, I gave for the dress, and somebody else's name is announced. He said, no, don't worry, your money is safe. We used it just for another service. But you should ask me. I am the one who donated, and you are using for another purpose. Next time I will not give you, he said. And this fellow had to celebrate the donor and go to his home with a lot of prasad, Rajabhog, everything pacified him. And said, sorry. And the devotee asked me later on, Babaji, what wrong I did? I didn't loot the money. I used one money for another purpose. I said, see, are you donor or is he donor? He said, he is donor. Then you should ask his permission. Because they have certain desires that I want to make dress for the Lord. And then you are using it for another purpose. So without duplicity means we should take care of these things. And sanjagrihe means have completely accepted the instructions. This is very important. We should not partially accept the instructions. One time, devotee was telling, Prabhus, we want some devotees to come to kitchen and wash the pots, after which, every one of you will get two gulab jamuns. And the devotee, what Prabhuji? 2 gulab jamuns, where is it? And the devotee said, okay, before gulab jamun, I told you one thing. Did you hear it? Prabhuji, that I didn't hear. Because it's called a selective listener. So what he heard very well? And what was the first part? Yeah. So then this devotee asked, you don't hear that you have to wash pots. Prabhuji, anyway, other devotees are there, they will do it. They will wash pots and I will eat gulab jamun. So this is called selective listening. So sanjagriha means one should completely accept the instructions. One should not partially accept. Actually, there are many examples you will find if you, in Mahabharata, Ramayana and Bhagavatam also, if you find people who, see why people accept instructions partially due to modes. Due to especially lower modes. Tamaguna, Rajoguna means lethargy, laziness to accept instructions. And Rajoguna means whimsical action or unrestrained action in a direction in which you are not told to go. One does, even if you do this much amount of service, what you are not told, then it is not useful. Even if you do little bit of what you are told to do, that is great. Correct? But many people do things on their own many times. So, and that is the reason why a person cannot completely accept instructions, because driven by the modes. Krishna says, Nigraha kim karishyasi. Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita. People are driven by the lower modes. Prakritim cheshtate swasya, he says in one of the verses. People are driven by the lower swabhava. So they only partially accept the instructions when they are told. Actually, people want initiation. People want mercy. But people don't want to follow instruction. That is the problem. They partially follow the instruction. They don't wholeheartedly follow the instruction. So the wholehearted consciousness is very important. Uttamaschintitam kuryat proktakari cha madhyamaha adharmo ashraddaya kuryat na kuryat uchcharitam pituhu. In the Yadu section, this verse comes when Yayati Raja asked his sons, who can give me old age? Who can take my old age and give me youth? There this sloka comes. Uttamas chintitam kuryat means one who understands the mind of the spiritual master and acts to please him. He is actually a top class disciple. Like for example, somebody is going in a train, they're asking for prasadam. So devotee asked him, one neophyte devotee asked him, Prabhuji, you are asking for prasad, you want Rajabhog prasad or ordinary prasad? He asked him. So that devotee was a little shy to tell him, Prabhuji, whatever prasad you say, whatever prasad you bring, I am happy with that. Like that he said. So which prasad you should take? You should take both. Why? Because if he has health issues, he may not be able to eat all the Rajabhog spicy items. You can take both and show him which one you want. Whichever you want, you can take it. But this devotee took ordinary prasad. Later on, another senior told him that, see, sometimes the devotee is shy to ask, but you should know that they are shy. Like when you are serving sweet for the second time, some people say, Prabhuji, already I took sweet, Prabhuji, thank you, they are saying, but from their face you can make out. They want little more, correct, no? And they are little shy to ask you more. But if you give, they will accept, correct, no? And in case they have folded the leaf and say, no, I don't want, that means you don't open the leaf and give it. You don't do it. You know that. Therefore, he is saying that actually when Uttama Chintam Kuriyat means you know the mind of the person and serve. No? Secondly, Prokta Karija Madhyama means after Guru says, better do this. I want you to do this service. And Jo Bola Sokaro, we say. Your Guru has told me, I will do it. That is the second class disciple. At least we should be, at least second class. I have been told to do this, I will do it. And the third class is Adharmo Ashraddhya Kuriyat. This fellow will not do the work, he will do it half-heartedly. He will not do it. Like you say, that there's a program at 8 o'clock, please make the hall ready, if you say. So he will not ask the superior, what is the meaning of ready? Because the superior may have one understanding of what is ready. And subordinate may have another understanding, correct, no? Better ask. Like, what is the meaning of ready for this program? You have to put the mats for people to sit. You have to make the mic system ready, keep the Vyasasana ready. Correct, no? Everything ready. But some people will do half-hearted job. They will do the job partially. At last minute, when people are coming, they will tell the people, I have already cleaned, washed the room. You stand outside, it is not yet dry. Last minute they do. In those days, we used to have devotees for cleaning the temple hall. So people who clean the temple hall till 4:30, and people cannot offer obeisances because floor will be wet. So then we told those devotees, you don't do this service. We gave to other devotee who made the hall ready by 4 o'clock only. So therefore, we need very pakka people. You should accept the instructions wholeheartedly. Not a half-hearted job we should not do. Semi-baked job. And Akuriyat Ucharitam Pitu is saying, if one does not execute the order of your father or spiritual master, he is no better than stool, he says. I am not saying that. In Bhagavatam, Ucharitam, you can see what is the meaning. Ucharitam means stool, it is. A person who doesn't execute the instruction is considered as dirty as that, he says. That means even after being repeatedly told, one doesn't do, he is like that, he says. So Sanjagriha means accept the instructions totally. Don't accept in a partial way. Like Arjuna had a difficulty accepting Krishna's instruction in the beginning, but eventually he accepted and fought the battle. Correct, no? He didn't protest. Finally he surrendered. You can see that. Fully accepted Krishna's instruction. And lastly, Manada, saying, that one who always respects the superiors. This is very important. Actually, sometimes there is an argument. Women say that, why should women be subordinate to men? Women should be given equal respect like men. Actually, our Vedas say, why should women be given equal respect like men? Women can be respected by man more than himself. Actually, in the Vedic life, a woman is called as a Griha Lakshmi. Lakshmi, she is treated like goddess of fortune. She is cherished by the husband. Husband provides her the best of saree and ornaments and a good house and children and prasad, everything. And such a woman can actually, cheerful woman can make everybody happy at home. She is greatly respected. Brahmachari is called such a woman as a Mataji, correct, no? In the modern times, you find in the billboards and posters how women are humiliated. It's a semi-clad dresses. And any product you buy in the market, they put woman's picture. You buy a bulb, there is woman's picture. What is the connection? Anything you put woman's picture. They want to introduce a new car, they'll put woman models very scantily dressed and showing posts like this way, that way, and so therefore you will see that if a woman respects the husband and husband is respecting Guru, and husband is very firmly situated in spiritual life, that is a happy family actually. The husband is spiritually weak, he is too much materialistic, he is attached to sense gratification, then woman cannot see him as a good example. Therefore, the fault begins from man only. If a man doesn't follow the Guru, like we have seen in COVID time, people had to be online. They couldn't come to temple. Then we found that In between, the COVID opened for 2 months. Every year, last marathon also, this marathon also. Marathon time, it opens. I think Krishna wanted to make sure devotee can distribute books. I was traveling last time also, this time also, peacefully. COVID had opened. So when COVID opened, you call the devotees. Now COVID is open, please come to temple. They say, no, still risk is there. We have to wear mask. But they go to marriages to socialize in a big way. What is the meaning of that? You can go to marriage, you can go to party, there no COVID. Coming to temple COVID? That means, that is lethargy, spiritual lethargy. So one should give up that spiritual lethargy. Actually, once we are in a COVID makes us very closed. Now to again come out and go to the house program, come to the temple, chant, dance, and do the activities. One shouldn't think, oh, this is too much. One gets used to, habituated to being stuck at home within four walls. And that lethargy is actually tamaguna, which is not very good. Not very good. We have to, Krishna tells, Vigata Jwara, he says, give up the lethargy, Arjuna, wake up, he's telling. So, and we have so much to do for Prabhupada's mission. All of you here in ICC, the new temple is coming up. And the new temple means more facility for preaching, more opportunity for preaching. Similarly, many youths have got connected now also. My congregation, many have got connected. And in the COVID time, Sundarup Sham Prabhu and Narayana Chaitanya Prabhu, they have been actually planning a lot. I saw also a lot of plans made to reach out people through social media. So many thousands of people. The whole world is our audience for preaching. And Bangalore is one of the best cities in the entire country, especially for job opportunities. People from wherever boys are all preached from different parts of the country, they land up in Bangalore as a destination. They come here for job. So you have a very big plus point for you. Here, if you preach nicely and hold the people, number will swell up very fast. Then you won't be able to hold the number here. Then you have to start multiple centers. Our Narayana Chaitanya used to say that the Jayanagar one center is coming up. Like that, many centers are coming up. So first we fill up the temple here, and then we expand to multiple places. And all over Bangalore, you can have a deeper penetration. Actually, small communities can have much deeper penetration than one big temple. And that is one of the reasons why Zona Jayapataka Maharaj wrote that book on Bhakti Vriksha Manual, and based on the Godruma Kalpatavi by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur was one grihastha with 10 children, and he ran 500 namahatas. Can you imagine? I heard that he ran 500 namahatas and more than 1500 Bhakti Vrikshas. So he was running in his times, and that too sitting in Godrum Dweep. Can you imagine? Godrum Dweep is, where is it? In Mayapur. Sitting there, all over Bengal he was running. So your ICC temple has the potential to run 500 or 1000 programs all over Bangalore. You have the ability to expand, provided we take the instructions of the GBC Guru very seriously. Respecting, Manayan, means one should respect the order of Guru. One should not take it casually or cheaply, or hear it with one ear and leave it with another ear. Sometimes people say, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Prabhupada said, how many Hari Bols? We want somebody who will do something, as Prabhupada said. So we want people who are willing to act, willing to respond to the instructions. When Prabhupada made the statement, distribute my books, distribute my books, distribute my books, 3 times he said, in the same temple hall, many people got up. Some men got up, some women got up. Prabhupada, I take a vow, lifelong, every single day in my life, I will distribute your books. Hari Bol, everybody said like that. Many people took vows after that lecture of Prabhupada. In the same manner, we all have to, what is our vow? Our vow is to become a faithful follower of the spiritual master. These 5, please repeat these 5 words. Apachitihi, worship. Kalpita, accomplished. Nirgalikataha, without duplicity. Sanjagrihe, have completely accepted. Manada, offering honor to others. So, we don't pass the buck to others. What is given to us, we ourselves do it in a responsible manner. Like here you find, Brahma, is giving instruction to Kardamuni, and Kardamuni faithfully executed. So Brahma is very pleased with him. In the same manner, our spiritual master, when he becomes pleased and glances at us mercifully, then our ticket back to Godhead is assured, without doubt. Prabhupada ki, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Guruji, for enlightening us on this topic of how to accept and respect and also obey the instructions of spiritual master. Naresh Chaitanya Prabhu. Yes. So let's thank His Grace Radhesham Prabhu for this wonderful lecture and inspiring all of us. Tomorrow also there will be lecture at morning 8:30 a.m. So let's thank Prabhuji by chanting once Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. And evening also there is a Prerna program at 6 o'clock. So if devotees who know the youths, your friends, even congregation youth can also participate in this program in the evening. And also today afternoon, we are having a program in Dayanand Sagar College, where Prabhuji is presenting a seminar on managing the mind menace, and the directors and all the principals and about 800 students are expected to participate in the seminar. So the only limited people, I said around 20 youth from temples can also go, but those who are coming should come in and chat. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So prasadam will be there now for all the devotees. So in the prasadam hall. Manish? Outside.
Hare Krishna, we'll just end the session now. We have a class tomorrow.